I guess it was inevitable with everybody sending money to the IRS this time of year. There would be protests about President Trump not releasing his tax returns. These were in a bunch of cities across the country. There was a sprinkling of celebrities, and it really got out of hand in Berkeley, where 21 people were arrested. I mean, there were rock throwing and sticks and smoke bombs as protesters against the president clash with Trump supporters. Kind of gives peaceful protest a bad name. But it did get under the president's skin just a little bit. You can tell because he started tweeting. And one said, I won the election. I did something that was very hard for a Republican to pull off. I easily won the Electoral College. Now they're bringing up tax returns. And this sort of goes to the president's point that despite the fact that he defied the demands, mostly by the media, but others, Democrats, to release his tax returns during the campaign, he won anyway. Therefore, he thinks the issue should be off the table. It never really got traction, except with the media. I don't know that most people cared that much. And there was a second tweet about whether or not people were being paid to protest. The organizers deny that. Now, I think this is going to come up again when the White House puts out its tax reform bill, because the people who don't like this president are going to say, hey, he hasn't even released his tax returns. We don't know how much he's going to benefit in his various businesses from whatever he's proposing, as if Donald Trump's only goal in becoming president was to try to make himself even richer. Now, I happen to think during the campaign that he should have released his tax returns. It's a 40-year tradition for presidential candidates. But, you know, he was a different kind of candidate. It didn't seem to hurt him very much. Like a lot of other things that he did, if someone else had tried it, they'd probably be out of the race. The attempt to make it an issue now, I think nobody who's protesting thinks that Donald Trump's going to say, wow, I guess I ought to do it. They're trying to use this as a weapon against him, as a club against him. And I understand that. But I think what has taken the sting out of this issue is that there had been this underlying assumption and suspicion that Trump paid nothing in taxes, that he was a real estate developer who could take advantage of all of these tax breaks and maybe get his bill down to zero. And it's not to say that he hasn't taken advantage of some tax breaks, although that would be perfectly legal. But when there was that much hype leak to a reporter who went on Rachel Maddow's MSNBC show and showed that a decade ago, Donald Trump paid $38 million in taxes, a much higher rate than Mitt Romney had when he was kind of pressured into releasing a couple of years of returns. I think that took a lot of the sting out of it, because clearly, at least in that year, the president was not skating by and paying nothing. So I think this issue will continue to be around. I don't think he's going to be forced to release his returns. You know, his explanation, which Sean Spicer repeated, he's under audit. Whether that's the reason or whether he just doesn't want to fuel the controversies that would inevitably erupt no matter what would be in his complicated returns, I think he's basically saying, read my lips, no tax returns. And I don't know that anyone can force him at this point, politically speaking, to do otherwise.